Welcome back to episode 11 of the Sleepy podcast. Today I'm going to be reading an article on Wikipedia called Limitless, the film. If you do enjoy this video, remember to like and subscribe at the start, as you may be asleep by the end. And if you have any ideas for a topic you want to hear me talk about in the future, absolutely let me know and I'll almost certainly get around to it. Also, I apologise that this video is slightly shorter than normal, but thank you for listening anyway. Limitless is a 2011 American science fiction thriller film directed by Neil Berger and written by Lindsay Dixon. Based on the 2001 novel The Dark Fields by Alan Glynn, the film stars Bradley Cooper, Abbie Cornish, Robert De Niro, Andrew Howard, and Anna Friel. The film follows Edward Mora, a struggling writer who is introduced into a drug called NZT48, or NZT as it's called in the show, which gives him the ability to fully use his brain and improve his lifestyle. Limitless was released on the 18th of March 2011 and became a box office success, grossing over $161 million on a budget of $27 million. The television series of the same name was released on the 22nd of September 2015, but was cancelled after one season. I should point out at this point there is absolutely no spoilers in this, and I'm just going to simply read the outline of the plot here. Eddie Mora is a struggling author living in New York City. His girlfriend Lindy, frustrated with his lack of progress, as well as his seeming lack of ambition, motivation, and focus, breaks up with him. Eddie encounters Vernon, a brother of his ex-wife Melissa, who gives an example of a new drug called NZT48, which Vernon implies will help Eddie with his creative problems. On the drug, Eddie discovers that he has a perfect recall and is able to analyze minute details of information at incredible speed. As the pill takes effect, he is being yelled at by his landlord's wife. With his new power, he calms her down, helps her with her law school homework, and sleeps with her. His ability to compel him to tidy up his apartment and give an immense inspiration for his work. I'm not going to read on the plot any further, as it will contain spoilers. Cast: Bradley Cooper plays Eddie Mora. Abbie Cornish plays Lindy. Robert De Niro plays Carlos Van Loon. Anna Friel plays Melissa Grant. Johnny Whitworth as Vernon Gant. Richard Beckins as Henry Hank Atwood. Robert John Burke as Donald Don Pierce. Tom Asarana as the man in the tan coat. TV Caprio as Valerie. Patricia Kelmer as Mrs. Atwood. Andrew Howard as Gennady, and Ned Eisenberg as Morris Brent. Limitless is based on the novel The Dark Fields by Alan Glynn. The film is directed by Neil Berger and is based on the screenplay by Leslie Dixon, who had acquired the rights to the source material. Dixon wrote the adapted screenplay for less than her regular price in exchange for being made one of the film's producers. Fellow producer Scott Krumpf and she approached Berger to direct the film, at the time titled The Dark Fields. For Berger, who had written and directed his previous 3 films, the collaboration with the first foray solely as director. With Universal Pictures developing the project, Shia LaBeouf was announced in 2008 to be cast as the film's star. The project eventually moved to development under Relatively Media, and Sir Richard Branson's Virgin produced Universal Distributing through Relativity's Rogue Pictures. By November 2009, Bradley Cooper replaced LaBeouf in the starring role. Robert De Niro was cast opposite Cooper by March 2010, and The Dark Field began filming in Philadelphia the following May. Filming took place in New York City. For a scene filmed in Porto Varela, filmmakers sought a luxury car, Italian car makers. Matt Starty provided 2 Maserati Gran Turismos, coupes free in a guerrilla-style approach to product placement. By December 2010, The Dark Fields was retitled Limitless. The film, notably incorporating fractal zooming, jump cutting, out-of-body scenes to convey the effect of the wonder drug on the protagonist, green screens and motion control photography were used to produce the visual effect of characters performing an action and then turning around to see themselves doing the action again. The opening scene was created with still photographs, stitched together using a variety of special effects and techniques. Release. Limitless had a worldwide premiere in New York City on the 8th of March 2011. It was released in 2,756 theatres in the United States and Canada on March 18, 2011. Box office. The film grossed $18.9 million on the opening weekend, to rank with the first of the box office, beating other openers The Lincoln Lawyer and Paul, as well as carryovers Rango and Battle Los Angeles. Limitless was released in the United Kingdom on March 23, 2011. Before the film's release, Box Office Mojo called Limitless a wildcard due to its premise and the pairing of Cooper and De Niro, but questioned a successful opening. The film opened at number 1 in the box office in the US. The film did well in the box office, earning some $79 million in the US and Canada, as well as some $157 million worldwide, against its $27 million target. Critical response. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, Limitless has an approval rating of 69% based on 199 reviews, with an average rating of 6.4 out of 10. The site's critical consensus reads, "Though its script is uneven, Neil Berger directs Limitless with plenty of visual passion, and Bradley Cooper makes for a charismatic star." At Metacritic, which assigns a weighted average film score from mainstream critics, the film received a score of 59 out of 100, based on 37 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Robert Elbert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 2.5 stars and said, "It's not terrifically good, but the premise is intriguing," and also stated that director Neil Berger uses inventive visual effects. Lastly, adapting a line from the movie, he said, "Limitless only uses 15 or maybe 20% of its brain. Still, it's a lot more than other movies do." Honeycutt of The Hollywood Reporter wrote that Limitless should be much smarter than it is, believing that it took conventional plot turns and struck closely to genre elements like Russian gangsters and Wall Street crooks. Honeycutt reserved praise for Cooper, Abby Cornish, and Anna Friel. He also commented that cinematographer Joe Williams' camera work and Patricia von Bodenstein's production design in the film, array of locals. I'm sorry, I couldn't quite read that. Variety's Robert Kohler called Limitless a productive, unexpectedly funny thriller. Kohler wrote, "What makes the film so entertaining is its willingness to go far out with transgressive touches and mind-bending images that take zoom and fish-eye shots to a new technique level, as the pill enables Eddie to experience astonishing new degrees of clarity, perception, and energy." With Cooper's performance, going from grungy to an ultra-star with corroborating shift in attitude, Cooper shows off his range in a film where he dominates from start to finish. The result is a classic Hollywood star magnetism. Engaging audiences, physically and vocally, his narration proves to be a crucial element of the Pic's humour. The critic also positively compared Williams' cinematography with a style in Deja Vu in 2006, and commended the tempo set and the film's editors, Naomi Gowrie, and Tracy Adams by the composer Paul Leonard Morgan. Limitless received the award for Best Thriller at the 2011 Scream Awards and was nominated for Best Science Fiction Film at the 2012 Saturn Awards, but lost to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I think is a far inferior film. Limitless has been discussed in the academic scholarly debates, notably on human enhancement. TV spin-off. Bradley Cooper announced in October 2013 that Leslie Dixon, Scott Crumpf, and he would work on the executive producers of a television series based on Limitless. On November 3, 2014, CBS announced that it would be financing a pilot episode for Limitless TV series. The pilot continued where the film left off, as the main character would be called Brian Finch. The Limitless pilot was directed by Mark Webb, replacing Berger, who had to pull out due to a scheduling conflict with the Showtime drama pilot Billions. Berger is still an executive producer along with Alan Kurtzman, Robert Ockrey, and Heather Candin. It is based on a script by Elementary executive producer Craig Sweeney. The Limitless pilot was screen tested on June 1, 2015, and Jake McDorman, Jennifer Carpenter, Hill Harper, and Mary Elizabeth Mainstreaming as starring. Limitless officially got released in order of May 2015. The show was announced as a spin-off from the film, before confirming that Bradley Cooper would make regular appearances, reprising his role as Edward Mora. The TV premiered on CBS on September the 22nd, 2015, with a 1.9 rating. On May the 25th, 2016, Craig Sweeney announced that the series had been cancelled after one season. The See Also section of the Wikipedia page recommends The Flowers of Algernon, a 1959 short story and a 1966 novel. Charlie, the 1968 film based on Flowers of Algernon. Intellectual Giftedness, the own article. Lucy, a 2014 film about a similar drug. Phenomenon, in 1996 film. The Lawnmower Man, a 1992 film. The Power, a 1968 film. Posthuman. Understand, the 1991 novelette or novella by Ted Chenrick, nominated for the 1992 Hugo Award for Best Novelette, and the winner of the 1992 Asimov's Reader Poll. Apologise that this episode has been shorter than normal. I picked up a small injury today and it bruised my ribs, and I'm just struggling to talk for a long time. But if you want to carry on listening, there are at least 10 other episodes on my channel. You can go to a playlist on my channel, and you can find them all together without any advert or commercial interruption. And like I said, if you do have an idea for an article you want me to hear me read in the future, I'll almost certainly read it for you. And thank you for listening, and good night.